increases.
Right. Just to be clear so everybody understands, the Democrats never passed a budget last year, even though they had control of both houses and they had a Democrat in the White House. So right. When we're talking about the debt ceiling, that's for this current fiscal year to run the government through October at some point. So this is only going to be a 2-week extension. And then we're back to square one. We're facing another government shutdown, as I think the Democrats wanted. Now, after that, in April, you're going to propose your first budget since you've been in Congress, correct? And
That's
you
right.
will deal in that budget. Will you deal with entitlement reform, Social Security, Medicare? And, well, there's only 2 ways, for example, to deal with Medicare, Social Security, means test and raise the eligibility age, right?
So that's what I've always been proposing in all of my budgets. The commission proposed those 2 reforms in its recommendations on Social Security. We're going to go after the drivers of our debt. And the drivers of our debt problem are the entitlement programs. The good thing about doing it now and early is you don't have to change benefits for anybody in and near retirement. These changes occur prospectively to younger generations like yours and mine, the X generation on down. So if you do this now, you can do it smart. You can do it without affecting current seniors and prospective changes. And we do plan on tackling these drivers of our debt, yes.
So I will have paid in my whole life, and maybe if I'm lucky, I'll get one payment the week before I die. But it's not about me. But let me ask you this, because let's go back to this year's budget, because that'll happen in April. But we're running out of money, and if they don't sign on to it, we're out of money on Friday. If they do sign it, that's only 2 weeks of time they're going to buy us. You came up with another chart on how money and spending is allocated. So we'll put that up on the screen, and you can explain this.
Okay, so what you see is a pie chart, and you have 2 triangles that are separated from the rest of the pie called discretionary spending. What we're talking about right now with the continuing resolution, all this government shutdown talk, is over just those 2 slices of the pie, discretionary spending. That's government agency budget spending. Half of it's for domestic government agencies, other half of it's for defense spending. That's about 40% of our budget. That is what we're talking about with the government shutdown for the rest of the fiscal year. The other slices of the pie, which is technically called mandatory spending or entitlement spending, that's 60% of the government. That is not in the system we're talking about now. That's not up for grabs. That's not going to be changed. That's not a part of the debate over the government shutdown. That is the purview of the budget, which we will produce in April. The debt limit, that will get hit later in the spring, probably sometime in May. And that is because we've borrowed so much money from all the spending that took place earlier that we're up against our credit limit. And so that's a third problem that we have to deal with just this spring.
Unbelievable. All right, Paul Ryan, the money guy for the Republicans. We're going to continue to watch. Appreciate you being with us.
Thanks, Sean.
And coming up, the turmoil in Tripoli continues.